What is up, everybody? It's Highlight Hendo here with Zenny62 Media, and we're just going to talk a little bit about the Raiders and some of the stuff that they had going on with free agency, and we're going to talk about the quarterback situation just a little bit real quick. It's just a little video. We're going to go a little bit more in depth later. But with Gardner Minshew signing, it's kind of an interesting situation because I think that it was probably one of the best options that they could have done given what they're trying to do, which is build with the defense first and build from the trenches essentially next. So I'd imagine if they don't sign an offensive lineman in free agency, then they'll be looking to pick one up pretty high in the draft. Now, that brings me to the quarterback situation again because obviously you don't necessarily want to roll into the season with Gardner Minshew as your starter. Not to say that he's bad. Actually, I was just kind of taking a look at his stats, and he for the first time got a finished with a winning record, 7-6, 62.2 completion percentage, and over 3,000 yards. So nothing super crazy, but I did like the 15 touchdowns to 9 interceptions ratio. And I think that is that's something that Raider Nation can totally get behind. And just kind of, again, taking a look at some of his stats, career-wise, touchdowns, interception, 59 touchdowns to 24 interceptions. So, again, looking pretty good there. He really only started in 2019. That's when he played. He played 14 games. 9 games in 2020, and then he played 14, 9, and then 4 games in 2021, 5 games in 2022, and then finally taking over for Anthony Richardson, playing those 17 games. He started 13 of them, but he played 17 games, and I think with him coming into his 6th season, perfect kind of guy that you want going up against Aiden O'Connell. I heard somebody say earlier, it's kind of the same principle as iron sharpens iron. Pressure makes diamonds. So you're pressuring these two. One's a young quarterback with not a lot of experience. The other one's a little bit older of a quarterback with more experience in the NFL, but still not able to secure that starting job. Let's just say that it's a pretty even keel for the starting job between the two of them. Let's just say that, there's no one drafted at this point. That's a pretty good optimal situation. And I had made a video earlier in the year about if the Raiders had 2 starting caliber quarterbacks to choose from, then they would at least have somebody worth trading, if not this year or by the trade deadline, then for next season to be able to get some capital. But looking at the draft, there's too many teams for the Raiders to be able to go up and try and get Jaden Daniels. Everybody knows that Jaden Daniels is the guy that the Raiders want, but the Commanders look like they are shaping up to take Drake May, and if they don't, then the Patriots are looking like they're shaping up. And if it's not them, then the Broncos, the Giants are looking to trade up, the Vikings are looking to trade up. There's a lot of teams looking for the same top 3 guys, top 4, top 5 guys. And then so you even throw J.J. McCarthy in that mix. Personally, for me, I don't see him as the Raiders quarterback. I don't want him to be in the AFC West with Jim Harbaugh as a rival competition to be playing twice a season. It's just I don't think that's a wise decision to go against the guy who essentially built this guy. So I'm going to lean more towards the Michael Penix, Bo Nix train. And I think the Michael Penix quarterback style is the closest thing you're going to get to Jaden Daniels in the draft. So the biggest question is he going to be there at 13? That is a good question. You might have to take him at 13, but then the question is that a reach? Would you be able to trade back down into like later into the first round, kind of as Keyshawn from Undisputed was talking earlier today. He was talking about the Raiders to trade back late in the first round, trade for Justin Fields, and make moves elsewhere. And I mean, personally, I don't think having Justin Fields, Gardner Minshew, and Aiden O'Connell is the type of quarterback room that is able to compete with the Chiefs. And I mean, I can't really say the Chargers right now because they really just kind of got dismantled. So, and I'm not really too confident in the Broncos. I mean, really, the Chiefs are the team to beat. I could care less about any of the other teams in the AFC West besides the Raiders and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the enemy, and the Raiders, that's the home team. All right, so let's say worst case scenario, you trade back, you miss on the opportunity to get Michael Penix. So now you've missed on Jaden Daniels and you've missed on Michael Penix Jr. If it's between Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler, obviously Spencer Rattler was probably going to be a little bit later than if you were to be trying to get Bo Nix there. He's probably more in that Michael Penix comp in terms of value. But I think having Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, you might be able to get away with having a Spencer Rattler type guy. I believe, his pro day was looking good, and if I'm not mistaken, his play at the Senior Bowl along with is that Michael Penix Jr. over there at the Senior Bowl as well. These guys in the kind of in the middle of the ranks here for the quarterback prospects, they've been catching some eyes of some guys. So and they've been getting a lot of attention, a lot of positive attention because of the way they've been performing. And it seems like some of these guys are pretty accurate. It seems like we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys who are being constantly talked about and hyped up in the media. Now both national and on social media. So I think the Raiders have to be very careful, and what's going to be the tall tale sign is leading up here into the draft coming up in these final weeks of March. We're going to be seeing exactly if they pick up an offensive line or if they're bolstering up on the defense. You can almost suspect that they'll be perhaps kind of inching back their plan for the offense. So that being instead of trying to get Michael Penix Jr. and perhaps reach for him at 13 or trade back into the first round and perhaps miss getting him, you could perhaps, I don't want to say settle for essentially a quarterback like Spencer Rattler, and while bolstering up your offensive line, really getting a run game going. And then that's another thing that I like to talk about, and we'll probably do that in another video, but Sincere McCormick is a guy that the Raiders have signed and decided to retain. No shade at Josh Jacobs, but I believe that Sincere McCormick has at least a receiving touchdown. And albeit it was in preseason, because I don't think McCormick has seen the field during the regular season at all. But that's Josh McDaniels' fault. But I think that kid is, I think he's got something, and I think Zamir White with Amir Abdullah, it could be enough if we have somewhat of a mobile quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see how mobile Spencer Rattler really is. We already know that Michael Penix Jr. is a mobile guy, and that's the other thing about Gardner Minshew, and we already know that Aiden O'Connell isn't mobile, and Jimmy G's not mobile, but I think Jimmy G's finally gone, and so is Brian Hoyer. So with Gardner Minshew, looking back at his stats, he had a career long of I believe it was 23 yards rushing. That was his long. And yeah, let's see, I have it down here. Yep, 23 yards long. And I mean, in his career, he's rushed for over 620 yards. So I mean, he can move. He averages about 3 rush attempts per game, and that's not including the the run pass option. Excuse me. But Gardner Minshew's able to move a little bit, and I don't think he necessarily has that ability to create like everybody is really wanting, or and he's not that special when it comes to that, but he's able to keep the plays alive. He's got a pretty good completion percentage. He knows how to keep his eyes down the field. He's he's got a long ball of he can throw the ball 70, almost 80 yards. The longest he's ever thrown recorded is 78 according to Pro Football Reference. But there is no doubt that Minshew can throw the ball far, and we can stretch the field, and it seems like he can do what we need him to do. And so that's why sticking with this plan, it kind of foreshadows that they're going to continue to bolster the offensive line. I might even suggest that they're probably going to pick up some more offensive weapons. Less likely a receiver. I feel like they're more likely to pick up a running back, since they already got that other tight end, and he's probably more of like that offensive lineman type guy, like the next guy on the end to block. So again, it'll be real interesting here to see right before we're coming up in here to the draft in these final weeks of March, just exactly what kind of moves are going to be made. And I'm sure there could be stuff happening right now. I'm seeing a bunch of Twitter notifications popping up on my phone there, but that's about it for right now. If you guys have any questions or comments, or if there's anything else that you want me to dive deeper into or research a little bit more, I'm happy to do that. That's what I love doing, and I will do some investigating for you guys, and I'll see if I can reach out and talk to some other folks and get some more information. So drop your questions down in the comments. You guys can find me at Highlight Hendo on Twitter, and you can also subscribe to my channel, the Highlight Hendo Network here on YouTube. And thanks again for watching Zenny62 Media. Just a little update and a little chit chat about what's going on with the Raiders right now in free agency, and we'll be back with another video here pretty soon, folks. Thank you.